Do you want to hear a story from RoK Dinosaur? Well, I am Snow, and this is my account. But it wasn't always like this, especially not 2,206 days ago. So, how did I survive all the civil wars, all the betrayals, and all the conspiracies in this game, which make Game of Thrones look like a kindergarten story? Well, I personally think I had three most important features, which are very important for any Rise of Kingdoms players. And no, it wasn't money. No, it wasn't activity. And it wasn't knowledge about the game. It was first persistence. Second, I wanted to have fun and lots of it. And third, I didn't really care. Well, it all started here in Kingdom 1069. And I wasn't really a gamer. I didn't play games like at all. I didn't know these types of games, so I had no idea what to do. And I also wasn't a spender, so I just thought I would play the game and probably leave it next week. That was my idea about this game. So I decided if I play just for a week, I could just as well enjoy it. I had like zero expectations because I thought I don't really have time to play and I'm definitely not going to spend money on this. So probably I'm going to be a very small player with little importance and probably they are going to destroy me very fast. And well, I just started upgrading buildings like I guess everybody else. But later on, I found something super exciting about this game because actually I found that I wasn't the smallest player in the game. Of course, I wasn't also the biggest, but there were also other cities much smaller, practically with no defense. And the coolest thing was you could actually attack those cities and burn them and plunder their resources, which was the core of my game. So my game all started, it was all about burning other cities, taking their resources and upgrading my own city. I also joined an alliance, but it was mostly from Argentina and I don't speak Spanish, so it was impossible for me to communicate. But it was all right for me. I was minding my own business, burning my cities I could burn, and just playing along. But of course, I needed to change because at one point, something super surprising happened. One day, I logged into a game and I saw all my teammates' castles burning. And there was also one city next to us, which looked very different. And I was like, what is going on here? And then I saw this person's power. My city was maybe around 500,000 power, and this city was 25 million. And I was like, no, that is impossible. This can't be like this. It must be a cheater. But of course, it wasn't a cheater. It was just a big whale spender who decided to burn cities for resources points or whatever. Funny thing, she didn't touch my city because I had no resources inside and no troops to kill. But as I told you, I was really persistent and I still wanted to have fun. So I joined another alliance, and this one was so much cooler. And I found out that I could actually speak on alliance chat because most of my teammates could speak English. And it was so much better alliance. We had many different structures, we had passes, and we actually meant something in the game, which was super cool. And then I've learned so much about the game. There were players who taught me what to do, what not to do. They told me that it's actually worth killing barbarians. And there is so many things about these games that I was doing wrong that I felt super stupid. But it didn't really matter because, again, I was persistent and I was just keeping on with the game. I've learned a lot on my mistakes and I was just going up and up and up. But of course, unfortunately, as it was many times in the kingdoms, there came the civil war and then another civil war, and I had to change alliance and change again up to the point where I thought this is the end. Nobody would take me. I was still a small player. My two alliances lost the war, and I was sure to be zero because my shields ran out. So I remember I teleported around here and I was done, and I thought, okay, this is the end of the game. It lasted more than I initially expected. So, well, I that's the time to say the end. The last thing I decided to do, which was basically just for fun, I decided to apply to the strongest alliance in the kingdom, and I was super sure they wouldn't expect me. But well, in ROK, expect the unexpected. After a day, I logged in into the game to see how my city would look zeroed. And then something super shocking happened. My city was in zero, and I was accepted to the biggest alliance, to the King Alliance of the kingdom. And then it started to be even better than before because I was playing with big whales and got rewards, and the game upgraded for me so much, and my growth in the game became much, much faster. Funny as it sounds today, I didn't really believe KVK would ever happen to this game, but everybody was talking about it. Our kingdom was basically divided into two strongest alliances. Our was the strongest, and there was also the second strong alliance. So we decided to clear the temple and to play nice because someday KVK was coming and we wanted to perform well and we wanted to be friendly. Unfortunately, our allies decided for something else. They took the temple and migrated in around maybe 30 T5 strong players, and after this, they decided to start a civil war. And what we've been building for many days and months all came down in one day. They started to burn our structures, burn our cities, and took everything we had away from us. We were devastated, we were shocked, and we were depressed. But most of all, we were angry. We were actually super angry. Together with my team, I migrated to 1071, which I knew nothing about, and I would never expect it would be my home kingdom for so many years. But the most important fact about it was that it was on the same continent as 1069. So when we played our first KVK in Rise of Kingdoms, we played against 1069. And in this first KVK, together with 1071, which was by then Imperial Kingdom, we destroyed 69. It was all about revenge. It was all about burning them to the ground and destroying them. We didn't care to win the KVK. We just cared to destroy them. And it was the biggest prize we could get. And it was just beautiful and poetic. And I just loved it. Burning the backstabbers gave me so much joy that you can't even imagine. Of course, I was still a very small player. I was mostly garrison filler and rally filler and couldn't do much in the field against much stronger opponents. But I still liked the game. And again, with persistence, I became more and more important in this game, which was for me also very surprising. With time, I made my way up. First, I could compete in the field, and then I became a rally leader, then the garrison leader, and then they even asked me to be an officer and the leader of the alliance. And in very mysterious events, I became the king of the kingdom 1071, which was also super exciting and opened so many new perspectives on the game, so many new possibilities, and so many new options I have never found before. And remember the city I told you about, the one that teleported and burned my whole alliance? Believe it or not, I zeroed this city. Yes, it took me time, but I had my revenge and I destroyed it. It was me. Do you think it's a cool story? Well, believe me, that is just a very big shortcut. And here I am again, getting ready for the next KVK, getting ready to have fun and to war with my alliance and my kingdom and my camp teammates. Keeping in mind that the most important fact about Rise of Kingdoms is the one that Rise of Kingdoms is not a race, it's a marathon.